Daniel Carter hadn't planned on staying long. The coffee shop was just a stop between dropping Lily off at school and catching the bus across town for an interview he desperately needed to go well. His jacket was thin, his shoes worn at the heels, and his mind already racing with numbers: rent due in 10 days, groceries stretching thinner every week, and the quiet fear that maybe he wasn't doing enough as a father. He ordered the cheapest coffee on the menu and stood near the counter, scrolling through interview notes on his phone, when the voice cut through the room. Sharp, condescending, loud enough to turn heads. "If you can't handle ordering properly, maybe you shouldn't be here during rush hour." Daniel looked up. A man in an expensive coat stood too close to the counter, towering over a woman who looked like she wanted the floor to open and swallow her. She held her cup with both hands, knuckles white, eyes lowered, not weak, Daniel noticed, just tired. The kind of tired he recognized in himself. The barista froze, unsure whether to intervene. The man scoffed. "Unbelievable. Some people have no awareness." Daniel felt something tighten in his chest. He thought of Lily, how she shrank when other kids teased her, how she tried to be invisible when adults raised their voices. He thought of how silence didn't mean agreement. Sometimes it meant survival. Before he could talk himself out of it, he stepped forward. "That's enough," Daniel said. The words surprised even him. The man turned, irritation flashing across his face. "Excuse me. She didn't do anything wrong," Daniel continued, voice steady though his pulse raced. "You don't get to talk to people like that." A few customers murmured. Someone nodded quietly. The man laughed bitterly. "Mind your business." Daniel met his eyes. "This is my business now." There was no threat in his posture, no raised fists, just quiet resolve. The kind that came from someone who had already lost too much to be afraid of one more confrontation. After a tense moment, the man cursed under his breath, shoved his chair back, and stormed out. The door slammed. The room exhaled. Daniel turned to the woman. Up close, he noticed her lashes tremble slightly, though she blinked the moisture away before it fell. "You okay?" he asked. She nodded, though her voice was soft. "Yes, thank you. I didn't know what to say." "You didn't owe him anything," Daniel replied. "Some people confuse money or volume with importance." Her lips curved into a faint smile. "You have a way with words." "Only when I'm tired," he said. "And caffeinated." That earned a real laugh, quiet, but warm. The kind that lingered. "I'm Emma," she said, extending her hand. "Daniel." They shook, and something subtle passed between them. Not sparks. Something steadier. Recognition. "Please," Emma said, gesturing toward the counter. "Let me buy you a coffee." "I insist." Daniel hesitated, pride warring with practicality. "All right, but only if I get a muffin to take home." "For your kid?" she asked gently. He blinked. "How did you? You have, Dad, written all over you," she said with a smile. The tired eyes give it away. He laughed, surprised. Guilty. They sat near the window, sunlight spilling across the table. Outside, the city rushed by, people chasing deadlines, deals, dreams, but inside, time slowed. Daniel talked about Lily. About her love for dinosaurs and how she insisted on wearing mismatched socks because T-Rex wouldn't care. He talked about learning to braid hair from YouTube videos, about burning dinners and pretending they were experimental. Emma listened, not politely, not distracted, but fully present. Her eyes softened with every detail. "She's lucky," Emma said quietly. Daniel shook his head. "No, I'm the lucky one." There was a pause. "And you?" he asked. "What do you do?" Emma hesitated just a second too long. "I manage things." Daniel smiled. "That vague, huh?" She smiled back. "Something like that." They talked about books, about how loneliness could exist even in crowded rooms, about how sometimes the people who look the most put together are carrying the heaviest weights. Daniel didn't know why he was opening up so easily. Maybe it was because Emma didn't interrupt. Maybe it was because she didn't look at him with pity when he mentioned his wife, only quiet respect. "I lost her 3 years ago," he said. "Cancer. Fast. Ruthless." "I'm sorry," Emma whispered. He nodded. "I don't talk about it much. Lily needs me strong." "You're allowed to be human too," she said. The words landed deeper than she probably realized. When Daniel checked his watch, he groaned. "I'm late." "Interview?" Emma asked. "Yeah. Fingers crossed." "You'll do well," she said with certainty. They stood, an awkward moment hanging between them, the kind where neither wanted to be the first to walk away. "Dinner?" Emma asked suddenly. "If you're free. No pressure." Daniel hesitated, then smiled. "I'd like that." They exchanged numbers. As Daniel stepped outside, the wind bit at his face, but his chest felt warm. Lighter. Like something long dormant had stirred awake. Across the street, Emma watched him go. Moments later, a sleek black car pulled up beside her. "Ms. Reynolds," the driver said respectfully. She slipped into the back seat, glancing once more at the coffee shop window. Her phone buzzed, emails, board alerts, numbers tied to fortunes that could change entire industries. She ignored them. For the first time in years, Emma Reynolds wasn't thinking about power. She was thinking about a single father who stood up for her without knowing her name meant billions, and who saw her not as an empire but as a woman worth defending. And she wanted to see him again. He stood in his small kitchen that evening, staring at his phone while lily-colored dinosaurs at the table. The apartment smelled faintly of laundry detergent and reheated soup. His reflection in the microwave door showed a man trying to decide whether hope was worth the risk. He hadn't been on a real date since his wife died. "Daddy," Lily said without looking up, "why are you frowning at your phone?" "I'm not frowning," Daniel said quickly. She squinted. "Yes you are. That's your thinking face." He smiled despite himself. "I'm meeting a friend for dinner." "A lady friend?" she asked, suspiciously cheerful. Daniel cleared his throat. "Maybe." Lily's eyes lit up. "Does she like dinosaurs?" "I don't know." "Well," Lily said seriously, "you should find out. Because dinosaurs are important. I'll keep that in mind." He tucked Lily into bed later, kissed her forehead, and lingered longer than usual. Leaving always felt harder at night. When Daniel arrived at the restaurant, he nearly turned around. It was nice. Too nice. Soft lighting, linen tablecloths, quiet music humming in the background. The kind of place he only walked past, never entered. Then he saw Emma. She stood as soon as she spotted him, wearing a simple navy dress, her hair loose over her shoulders. No diamonds. No extravagance. Just understated elegance. "You came," she said, relief softening her smile. "Yeah," Daniel replied. "I almost didn't." "I'm glad you did." They sat. Talk flowed easily at first, work, favorite foods, Lily's latest dinosaur facts. But beneath the conversation was something deeper, an awareness that this wasn't just polite company. "So," Emma said after a pause, "how was the interview?" Daniel sighed. "I think it went okay. They want experience without baggage." "Baggage?" she asked gently. He smiled sadly. "Being a widowed single dad scares people. They don't say it, but you feel it." Emma's fingers tightened around her glass. "That's their loss." Daniel studied her. "You speak like someone who's used to making decisions." She laughed softly. "I suppose I am." They ate slowly, savoring the quiet. For once, Daniel didn't feel rushed or judged. Emma didn't check her phone. Didn't glance around the room. When he spoke, she listened. "I should tell you something," Emma said finally. Daniel tensed slightly. "Okay. I don't usually do this," she said. "Meet strangers. Ask them to dinner. Let myself feel seen." Daniel offered. She met his eyes. "Yes." The words settled between them, heavy and honest. After dinner, they walked outside. The night air was cool, city lights reflecting in the pavement. "I had a nice time," Daniel said. "So did I," Emma replied. Then, quieter, "Would you like to see me again?" He hesitated, not because he didn't want to, but because wanting felt dangerous. "I have a daughter," he said. "She comes first. Always." "I wouldn't expect anything else," Emma said instantly. "Actually, I'd like to meet her someday. If that ever feels right." Something in her tone, sincere, steady, made his chest ache. A black car pulled up nearby, waiting. Emma noticed Daniel's glance. "My driver." "Ah," Daniel said, suddenly self-conscious. "You really do manage things." She smiled, but there was something guarded there. "More than you realize." She leaned in, brushing a kiss against his cheek, gentle, unhurried. "Good night, Daniel." He watched her leave, unaware of the quiet conversation happening inside the car. "Security confirmed," the driver said. "No press. No leaks." "Good," Emma replied. "And the board?" he asked. "They can wait," she said, staring out the window. "For once, they can wait." The next time Emma came over, it was Lily who answered the door. "You're pretty," Lily announced. Daniel groaned. "Lily." Emma laughed. "Thank you. You must be Lily. I've heard all about your dinosaurs." Lily gasped. "Daddy talks about me all the time," Emma said. They spent the afternoon building a cardboard dinosaur park. Emma sat on the floor without hesitation, sleeves rolled up, fully engaged. Daniel watched from the kitchen doorway, something unfamiliar blooming in his chest. Hope. Later, after Lily fell asleep on the couch, Daniel joined Emma on the balcony. "She likes you," he said. "I like her," Emma replied softly. "She's incredible." "So are you," Daniel said before he could stop himself. Emma turned toward him. For a moment, the world felt very small. "Daniel," she began, "there's something you need to know." His phone buzzed in his pocket. A news alert flashed briefly on the screen. Reynolds Global acquires major tech firm. CEO Emma Reynolds makes history. Daniel froze. He looked at Emma. Really looked. The confidence. The composure. The quiet power. "You're," his voice caught. "You're that Emma Reynolds." She nodded slowly. "Yes." Silence stretched. Daniel stepped back, disbelief and hurt flickering across his face. So this was what? A game? A charity case? "No," Emma said urgently. "Never that. I didn't tell you because I wanted you to know me first. Not my money. Not my name." Daniel ran a hand through his hair. "You should have trusted me with the truth." "I was afraid," she admitted. "Afraid you'd look at me differently." He laughed bitterly. "Funny. That's exactly what just happened." Emma's eyes filled. "I didn't want power here. I wanted honesty. I wanted you." Daniel turned away, conflicted, emotions colliding, anger, attraction, fear. Inside, Lily stirred and whispered, "Daddy." He took a breath, steadying himself. The night had changed everything. And neither of them knew if what they were building could survive the truth.